sometimes as adults, the issues you have nothing to do with the children. So why are you making your children inherit things and issues that are not theirs? Si makosa yao. These are not ceremonies where you come and start manipulating and saying, oh, many things will say. And I think also at this stage when your children are here, what are these issues that tujasameana mpaka sai? Kusema ukweli. What are these issues we are carrying for more than a decade? If you are in a relationship or in a blended family and you're the neutral party, try as much as you can to bring sanity. So you never really think about these things. But I'm here today so that I can remind you guys, whoever out there who's walking through this journey, that these things are coming. No one taught me. I did see them coming, but they do happen. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the StepMum podcast, where we talk about all things blended families. Join me in shifting narratives as I share my perspective from my journey over the last 17 years as a stepmom. In case of any exaggeration, dramatization, trust me, it's purely coincidental. Hello everyone, I hope you're safe and keeping warm. Welcome to another episode of the StepMum podcast. Today we're talking about all things ceremonies, where families gather and traditions take center stage. But for stepmoms, this can be complicated. You're present, but not always acknowledged. Invested, but not always included. In today's episode, we're going to talk about what it means to be a stepmom in these spaces and the quiet strength it takes to show up even if you're not so sure where you belong. As I always say, there's no manual when it comes to blended families. As you're starting to create your own blended families, we are always in the thick of things. It's someone is finishing their divorce, court where you're struggling for custody, when you're fighting for certificates or passports for the children to travel, when you are trying to really, really blend, when you're going for counseling, when you're trying to bring the two homes together, when you're trying to make a team and to have your own traditions. There is all that, but there are things you tend to forget. Or let me not say forget, it's just that things we had no time to foresee. And it's something that for other families might be easy, but when it comes to a blended family, it's tough. I'll start with graduations. This is when children reach a stage where they're graduating from high school, from campus, nowadays even kindergartens. We never foresee these things because as you're trying to blend the family, there's so many other issues and we don't see these things coming. And feelings run high on such days, because people are proud of their children, people are proud of their achievements. So, number one, the high school, the university has only one graduation day. They're not going to change because of your dynamics. Number two, on that day, it's about the child. It is not about us, which sometimes grown-ups don't know how to behave on that way. They don't know how to, focus on the child. Like I said, feelings are a lot. We also need to understand on such a day that your child's friends, they're also watching. So it's a very sensitive time. And so I'll speak to you from my perspective. Like I always say, the neutral party. So my first was graduation, and we had to coexist. We went for the graduation. After that, there was picture taking. And so when I mean picture taking is this, the child will take a picture with you and the dad. Then they'll take a picture with the dad alone. And then they'll take a picture with their bio mom. And then they might take a picture with the bio mom and the bio dad, which happened to me. And so you figure where you're wanted. Like your emotional EQ has to be high. So because it's the child who's at the center stage today, you have to be able to be grown up about things. So like I said, the first picture is the child with the dad and the stepmom, like my case. Second picture is my child and the dad. Third picture is the child with the bio mom. Fourth picture is the child with the bio mom and the bio dad. And so you get to understand that on that day, it's not about you. So you have to extend grace. So the first time it happened, everything went well. And then after that, there was dinner to be attended, meaning that we will stay or we will sit on the same table and have cordial conversations and enjoy the dinner with the child and be able to have a lovely dinner with grown-up conversation, nothing too deep. Just like if you were to be polite to a family member, or let's say a stranger, because the bio parents know each other. But for me, I don't necessarily have to interact with my child's bio mom unless under these circumstances. So you never really think about these things. But I'm here today so that I can remind you guys, whoever out there who's walking through this journey, that these things are coming. No one taught me. I did see them coming, but they do happen. So graduations is one of them. And like we said, remember, you keep the child's interest first. And trust me, it is less than 12 hours or less than 15 hours. So we can behave. And then if you want to do a graduation party, the bio dad can do one at a different time. And the bio mom can also do a graduation ceremony at a different time, different location. So the child will have 2 graduation ceremonies celebrated by each bio parent. A second ceremony is circumcision. This is the rite of passage from a boy to a young man. In our African culture, it is heavily in the interest of the bio dad to help the child to go through this procedure. But what if you are the stepdad and then you have your wife and we have the bio dad and who also has a stepmother for this child? So it means you have to let the bio parent step in. If you ask me, I'd say let the bio mom and the bio dad step into this and do it themselves as cordial as they can. For me, it's just to remind them to be grown up about it. This is about the child, and especially it's about the boy. When the boy is crossing over, they're already feeling anxious. It's another phase in life. Definitely, there's a bit of pain. I would prefer if both bio parents will be present for this ceremony. If one of them is not present, maybe because they've passed on or they're not able to come because they're overseas and they didn't get time, you can step in. But I'll say first round, my first ideal would be bio parents, so that it's comfortable for everyone else. This happened to me with Sean, and thank God I was the bio mom and it was the bio dad. I was just thinking to myself, and there are parents there who are single, and so sometimes you don't have uncles who will step in, sometimes you don't have male friends who will step in, and then you realize you have no choice but just to come with your son. And I felt like it was really sad when a young boy knows the father is somewhere in the world and is not going to come and hold their hand and transit with them. And I'll say in that case, if there's a stepdad who's willing to step in, go ahead. And then every tradition has its own culture. After everything is done, normally you have to cook for the boy until the boy heals. So let me give an example of mine. When I had my 2 boys, I was the part of the primary custodian. So when my boys went through the rite of passage, I'm the one who cooked for them, took care of them until they healed. And then definitely do a small celebration and the child is able to go through this smoothly. When I say feelings run high, I mean exactly that. This is where everyone else, the relatives, everyone else who's never been involved in their lives come in. So I say this one, step parents, walk slowly, not to the full chest, unless you've been invited to. If not, keep calm. This is only again a short time, and then people go back to life, the normal life. So if the bio parents are able to do it cordially and there is peace, why not? It's even a break for me to go on holiday. So for me, I don't see the problem when it comes to this. Next ceremony is dowry. We all know when a girl is getting married, they take the man or the groom to be to the father, and then traditions, depending on different traditions, the dowry is usually paid to the father. Now, guys, I have not reached here yet. I know this is going to catch up with me in the next few years, so I have not reached here yet. And so for the child that the bio parents are there, normally if you're marrying the girl, you have to go to the father, and the father is living with the stepmom. So I would guess in my scenario, if the bio mom is there, I would encourage the groom to be able to go ask for the lady, pay the dowry to the dad, and to the uncles from the paternal side. And then I would encourage this new person who is entering my daughter's life. I would encourage it from day one, and I'll be very clear. This is a blended family. It would be really kind if you're able to also visit the mother and be able to get a rapport, be able for the mother to get something, whatever in their community or their traditions they get from the groomsmen, so that don't give a wrong impression to the person who's coming into your life. Be very clear. Children, be very clear. Say, we're in a blended family. I have my dad and my stepmom, then I have my mom and my stepdad. I think this is very, very important to be clear from day one. And if you really love your person, trust me, you'll be able to do both. So for me, I would even request, if they're going to fully pay the dowry or give the mom whatever that is required to give the mom, I would take it and give it to the bio mom. I have no issues whatsoever. Why? Because again, we are here for the child. It is very emotional. The child is already anxious. Okay, this is not even a child. They'll always be children. Your young adults are already anxious. And also, do you want to show a bad example of confused elements? Yeah? Separation happened 20 years ago, and we are still here fighting back and forth. For what? Let us be cordial. Let's make this transition as smooth as possible so that our daughter or our son can secure their partner and move on with their life, being blessed by all of their parents. So, kindly, couples in blended families, these things are coming. So you can already see, me, I'm already thinking about them because they're now getting to the stage of getting married. And I would love my child to have a seamless event. When it comes to the wedding, it's as simple as, if you're the bio mom and want to buy the gala dress, kindly go ahead. If we want us to contribute together as the bio mom and stepmom for the child for the dress, why not? When it comes to agreeing on the number of people, for me, I don't see where the fight is. I personally, I would not have a big number because I am an introvert. The father definitely have big numbers, but I also would like the bio mom to request the number of guests that she'd like to come for the daughter's or son's wedding. And so we should give each other space. We should ensure that everyone, as much as we cannot satisfy everyone, everyone gets a chance to enjoy that beautiful, wonderful day. My advice is this, again, make sure it's as seamless as possible. On the day of the wedding, if the bio mom and the bio dad are there, please, walking down the aisle, which is like less than 5 minutes, please go ahead. If you can walk down the aisle with your bio parents, feel free. Go ahead, walk down the line. Just know me, I'm here. Next to your dad, any support you require, I'm here. That is not the time to show other people and to show people who don't know us our issues. Lazima mnatoa nguo uchi uko nje. So you're the one to bring logic or sense on that day. I'd also request, in terms of the cake, it is not hard. In my case, when I was getting married to Mike, I had 2 cakes for his mom and his stepmom. What was the big problem? It's just a cake to acknowledge everyone, so that we can have peace, so that we can enjoy this day. We don't want issues. I don't know which one is there demanding for what, another one is demanding for what. Please, I'd say if the parents are there and they are present, be cordial on that day, give your speech, give away your daughter or welcome another daughter. Ensure that on this day, please, let's put our differences aside. I don't see any issue whatsoever. Personally, as Catherine, please, if my daughter wants to be taken down there by her mom, go ahead. I will have no issues because it's actually not a big deal. Something else also at the wedding day, the bride or the groom is already very anxious by virtue that, we have these differences and it may come out. So be aware. Walk in their shoes. That day they're already anxious at the wedding. The wedding is already something difficult to plan. Finally, is here. I really want them to be the last thought in their minds is my dad or mom are going to argue or fight. No. The adults in the room, get your shit together. Allow me to use that word today. Get your shit together and let's behave for the sake of our daughter or for the sake of our son. It is not the day to come and square off the issues that you've had for all those years. And I don't know why, if my child is getting married, we are squaring off issues that my child has nothing to do with it. So ensure that that day is an enjoyable day, full of peace, joy, laughter, so that our children can go to the next phase of their lives to be parents, and we've all blessed them. It is possible. You will see it with mine. It will be possible. Something else about weddings. In the world of today, our children might need a boost for their weddings. So, if you're the person who is with the partner that has more money than the other, don't use that to be your space to now, show off. Unajipiga kifua, you're the one to say because you paid for 3/4 of this wedding, 3/4 of the guests have to be mine. No. We are all again here because of the sake of a child. Everyone bring whatever they can afford to ensure this day happens. For example, for me, who's a stepmom, if the father can contribute more, that doesn't necessarily mean afinye ile party ingine. You are not doing it so that on that day you're acknowledged and on that day you dominate the day. No. Give with one clean heart, and remember, it's not about us. These things happen once in a lifetime. Sometimes they don't work, yes, but you're optimistic. They don't happen again. So please, not the person who cashes in the big check now becomes the one to bully others. No. If you're my partner, I would actually sit you down and say, listen, yes, you've paid more, but it is not the time for you to start demanding things and demanding rights for being the one who contributed the most money. So at weddings, that's something I did not want to forget. And as I conclude on the weddings, remember, these are days that mean a lot to many people. Please don't let your kids or your children go down the aisle and you've done something that they'll never ever forget. So let's be careful, parents. Let's make these weddings, dowry weddings, all these traditional things, let's make them as smooth as we can. Because trust me, these are ceremonies that children will never forget. Now, after weddings, there's no pressure, but let's go to when the lady is pregnant. And nowadays you have baby showers and all that. For me, the ideal would be to have one baby shower for the lady because they're already pregnant and it's taxing. So again, logic. If you can have one baby shower, which means me and the bio mom sit down and agree this baby shower is this, reach out to their friends, they come, we do the baby shower. I think it's a good start for any grandmother. So try. That's what I'm saying. Now, your daughter is pregnant. There are 2 baby shower events. See, nachokesha. Omaje Jeffrey. It's tiring. Let's have one baby shower for the sake of our daughter. Let them have a good time. Let their friends be happy. And also we are showing our children how we can live and maintain relationship even when we have conflict. Conflict resolution. This is not the day. Ati sasa wewe kama ni bio mom unakuja sasa. Hiyo ndio siku wewe na step mom unaanza kupigana. It's not necessary. For such kind of things, I personally would actually allow the bio mom can come. If me being there is going to cause trouble for the lady who's pregnant, there is no point. I would choose to step aside, support from afar, instead of increasing stress to the young lady who's already pregnant and scared. Then we go to baby naming. And I think here is when the Kikuyus take the cap. Is where the man and the woman, if you give birth to the first boy, is named after the dad. I feel for me, it's a whole lot of hubalu. Like, just name according to how you wish. I will support you always. Don't struggle, because by the time you're naming your father, your bio mom, the other party's father, bio mom, then by the time you come to the stepmom, kwani mnazaa watoto wangapi in the world of today? 7, 8, 9? What is the pressure for? Kabla ufikiwe ni lini? So you relax. Even if you have yours, you'll be named even you. So relax. Understand the cultures and extend grace to these young couples. Not that when they're going to maternity wing, mtu anasema ngoja kidogo, inaitwa birth certificate, tubadilishe jina. For what? Unnecessary stress. Because like I said, the father is named first, the mother is named, then the other side father, then the other side's name. Alafu tena tutaweka pia stepdad, stepmom, alafu uncles na aunties. Aki tutamaliza lini? Kwani mnatenda watoto mnaitishwa kwa nini kwa wholesale? So I think that's another thing, guys, we don't have to fight about. It's a no-brainer. I don't think it's a big deal, because either way, I will still be in the life of my grandchildren. Whether they name them after me or not, I'm okay. I don't have any issues. And also for the baby naming, before I move ahead, we have the young parents-to-be. They're already very anxious. They're already very worried. They're first-time parents. I think the most important thing is to support them. Not starting to manipulate, not starting to make demands of the baby name. I think I would rather prefer to allow the couple to name their child however they wish. For us, as long as we support them, and for us, our grandchildren know there is this shosho and there is the other shosho, and it's okay. As a grower, you'll explain. But I think it's unnecessary pressure or tension among the both families and among the newlyweds. It's so unnecessary. We can do without it. When it comes to the child's baptism, it could also be children, because they could be twins. When it comes to the baptism, I think, again, here we fall back to the couple again. They decide which church do they want to raise their child in. So if they decide Anglican, PCA, and now me, I'm Catholic, I should not start imposing on this new couple which church to go to. Because then there is, let's say, for example, for my sake, there is Mike, and then there is the ex-wife, all have different churches. Why don't you let the couple decide what church do they want to raise their child under? And the rest of us appear at the baptism, bless the children as the presiding father or the presiding priest. Let's have a wonderful day where our grandchild was dedicated to the Lord, and let's again support them. After baptism, we have a good, decent lunch, and the newlyweds go home knowing you have a base, you feel supported. And I think also at this stage when your children are here, what are these issues that tujasameana mpaka sai? Kusema ukweli, if your child is 30, maybe you got divorced when the child was 17. What are these issues we are carrying for more than a decade? What issues do we have? Si tunafaa tukuwe tumemalizana na hizi vitu, so that we can give space to our grandchildren to come to healthier environments than the ones we had when the children were growing up. So put these issues aside. No one is coming out of this world alive. Push the issues aside. Keep the children the forefront. And now not even forget the children. Your grandchildren. Why are you bringing the separation? Why? Why can't you be one happy family? And let us also respect the boundaries of the parents. As much as they are our children, they also have their own boundaries. They also have their own wishes. They also have their own way of viewing life. So again, these are not ceremonies where you come and start manipulating and saying, oh, many things will say. So really, I'd say let's support the young couple. Let's forgive each other. Let our grandchildren have a better familial environment than the ones our children have. We are the only ones who can break the cycle. So if you are in a relationship or in a blended family and you're the neutral party, try as much as you can to bring sanity. And I always say, guys, when you went down the aisle, you are the two of you. Why are you bleeding on us? The rest of us, we have no issues. So from a perspective of a stepmom, I'll support my child in all these ceremonies so that we can have wonderful days and wonderful memories to look back at. Sometimes as adults, the issues you have not, most of the time, actually 90%, have nothing to do with the children. So why are you making your children inherit things and issues that are not theirs? Si makosa yao. Mkipatana mulikuwa peke yenu, mkikosana mulikuwa peke yenu. Now why do you want your children, your grandchildren to inherit things? First of all, those things don't add value. Those things just cause more and more separation. Those things can actually bring a rift between the children in the blended family. Children just love each other. They don't see that, they don't look at each other that way. Children always know we are from this home, we are loved, we are accepted, we live in peace, we live in harmony. So don't make children to inherit things that are not theirs, issues that don't belong to them. Kutaneni nyume ya tent, mkitaka kupigana mpiganiane huko. Let the children live together in peace and harmony. And that is our joy, because we have lived most of our life. Very soon we are exiting. We need to leave them with a good support system. And that is my take on this topic.